Guys, how you all doing? Hope you're all well. Today's video is going to be just a show and tell / mini review of a new palette that has been released. But before I get to that, I just want to say thank you so much to everyone that's entered my giveaway. I've had a lot of entries, to be honest with you, so I'm really grateful for that, so thank you so much. And also, if you haven't entered and you don't know what I'm talking about, then you're more than welcome to enter. I'll put the link down below, so just check that all out. So in this video today, I want to talk about this new release by Urban Decay, which is the Urban Decay and Gwen Stefani collaboration, which they recently released on their website. Now, I believe they released this last week sometime. It sold out in minutes and then it came back in stock, and then yeah, anyway, it was a long story. But I think currently it is sold out on the Urban Decay website, but the UK website. But if you want to get this palette, they are going to be releasing it in Debenhams and Selfridges and everywhere else that sells Urban Decay. So you can pick it up online from those stores, as well as the Covent Garden store that Urban Decay has. So yeah, and I think the release date in the Debenhams and Selfridges and all the other places is around the 3rd of December. So yeah, so it should be out next week sometime. This is the packaging that it comes in. When I first got this packaging, I did think to myself, this is much smaller than I thought it would be. I thought it was going to be a much bigger palette, but it's actually quite small. Yeah, you can see it fits in my hand quite nice. So it's quite a small palette. And I was watching an interview that Gwen Stefani actually did, and she was saying that she was looking for more of a modern twist on a retro feel kind of thing when she was looking at her packaging. You can kind of tell that with this packaging here. So on the back of the packaging as well, you've got the shades of each of the colours in the palette itself. And yeah, so let's see what's in here. Now inside, when you open up the box, inside you get the palette, but also you get these shades, just some of her shades from, I believe this is going to be a new release next year, which is her lipstick range as well that she's going to be doing with Urban Decay. And it has like a similar design on it as well. But you get some samples, you get 4 samples, but I believe there are going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 actual shades in here. Yeah, I mean, I haven't tried these lipsticks, but I guess when they come out, I'll be looking forward to trying them. So this is the palette itself. It comes with these, well, like this dotted design, like a circular design on it, which is quite nice. And then this design is actually covered with a plastic covering on top. And then you've got Urban Decay, Gwen Stefani, like a plastic label on there as well. So that is that there. Okay, and then when you open up the palette itself, one thing to note is that these circles are not a reflection of any shadows inside. So if you thought that these circles reflected how many shadows that you get, it doesn't. You actually get 15 eyeshadows, so the circles are not reflecting the amount of shadows that you get. But when you open it up inside, you can see the shadows there. And I have used this palette quite a bit since I bought it. To test it out, obviously, before I started talking about it. So it's a mixture of neutrals and a couple of pops of colours at the bottom as well. It is definitely a mixture of mattes and shimmers as well. But then you have like this glittery shade, which is more of a glitter than a shimmer, if that makes sense. But yeah, so this is what the palette itself looks like. So as you can see, there's a mixture of different finishes in here. Now, when I first saw this palette, I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't that excited by it, to be honest with you, because I did think it was quite bland, and I thought, not really anything exciting. And I kind of made the mistake of believing and thinking that, you know, when Gwen Stefani releases an eyeshadow palette, it's gonna be full of all these bright, bold colors, because that's kind of like what her personality reflects, and it should reflect her personality. But then when you actually look at what Gwen Stefani is actually like in terms of her makeup, you don't really see her wearing like bright, bold colors for her eyeshadows. So yeah, that didn't really make sense then when I was thinking about it. So this made more sense that this is what she would produce, because that is the type of eyeshadows looks that she tends to go for. So when I thought about it, I was like, okay, yeah, I kind of understand that. Now, as a brown beauty, you know, I was thinking to myself, oh, these shades don't really look like they're going to do much for my skin tone. But I do actually think they work quite well, to be honest. Obviously, like these browner tones, like these brown tones in the middle here, they don't really do much. I mean, I do tend to use them more in my crease, just to subtle, like as a subtle crease. But apart from that, they don't really do much, to be honest. But apart from that, everything else works really nice. I do tend to stick with the lighter shades as a base and then work with the darker shades in the crease. And then like today, I've got that look on with the lighter shades as my base. I believe I'm wearing Skimp, a mixture of Skimp and Blonde as my base. That's the lighter shades that you can see there. And then I did kind of a mixture of Stark and Punk as my transition and crease, as you can see it there. So the darker shades. And then I lined my eyes with Danger, which is the blue shadow at the bottom there. And that's what I used to line my eyes, and also Blackout as well. So yeah, I did use quite a few of these shades. Oh, and I used Bath Water in my inner corner. So yeah, I used quite a bit of these shades today. And I really like this palette. I think it works well. It's, you know, if you're one that's looking for color, definitely not your type of palette then. But if you're looking for a neutral everyday, you know, you can pick this up every day and wear it, then definitely you've got something you can pick up every day and wear. And if you're going out in the evening, you can switch up your look as well for an evening look. This definitely has that all-encompassing kind of day to night look. But for anyone that's looking for bolder, brighter colors, then this isn't for you at all. I did find that the blue had some fallout on it when I was using it, and also Punk had some fallout and Blackout. So these, you know, they do tend to have some fallout on them, so just be aware of that as well when you're using them. But yeah, so I might bring you in a bit closer now and we can go through the swatches of each of these shades. Okay, so here is the palette much closer, as you can see it there. So I'm just going to go through each shade with you and do a swatch of each row. Okay, so the first four lighter colours in the first row are here. And that is Punk as well. The lighter shades in the first row are all shimmer, and then you've got Punk, which is the matte shade, and it's like a burgundy brown kind of shade. It's really nice. So the next row is what I'm going to be swatching. So I'll start again from this side and work my way down so you can see them there. And this row has 3 matte shades in it. And I'll do the swatch of the last shade called Serious in a moment. And then that is Serious as well, the dark grey shade. So that's all of them there. And then this last row here, I'll swatch from this side all the way to this side. And this has all shimmer shades here. And then the last shade, which is Blackout, which is the dark black here, obviously, it is a matte shade. The colour that I really don't like in this palette is called Pop. And it's like a champagne-y kind of pinky colour. It has quite a bit of fallout on it, so I'm not that impressed by that particular colour. It's quite a chunky, glittery colour, and that's Pop there. But the others are beautiful colours, and this Blackout is very, very dark, and I love it. So those were all the colours swatched in this particular palette. One thing I forgot to mention is that, so on the mirror it says magic is in the makeup. Can you see that there? Just there. So yeah, so I thought that was quite a nice touch. The casing is actually like a gold tone casing. It does leave quite a few fingerprints and marks on it, to be honest with you. But all in all, it's a really, really nice palette. And I do like the colours in this. If it was me, I'd probably put a bit more transition colours, like orangey brown colours, just to balance out the neutral tones of these shades here. I really like the matte shades in this. They feel very soft and buttery, when I'm swatching them and when I use them, I think they work really nice as well. The palette itself retails for £40, I think it is, so it's just about cheaper than the Vice 4 palette, the Vice palettes, which are about £43, I think. Now, I believe there are a couple of repeat shades in this, but the majority of these are actually new shades to this particular palette. That is it for me and this particular palette. Overall, I think it's a good palette. If you're a neutral lover, then I think this is probably something you'd want. If you're a Gwen Stefani fan, then this is something you probably definitely want to keep in your collection. But I just think overall it probably is geared towards more neutral lovers than anybody else, but I personally like it. I'm a neutral lover, but I like to play with a bit of colour as well, so I think this is quite a nice palette for that reason. Okay guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you want me to show you me using this particular palette, then just let me know and I'll be happy to do so. But like I said, it is the look that I created today, is what I used to create the look today that I'm wearing. So yeah, but if you want me to demonstrate this for you, then just let me know. But that's it for me, guys. Thanks so much for watching, and don't forget to check out my giveaway, and I'll put the link down below for you. Thanks so much, and I'll speak to you in the next video. All right, take care, guys. Bye. Ciao. I'm obviously saying something and doing something right?